Dumelang, Sanbonani, good morning. Today we are discussing the role of religion in restoring South Africa. Do people still vote according to what they believe in, or do they vote based on the issues? Today I have Thapelo Amad in studio representing Jama Ah. The party was founded in 2007. It is led by Khanif Hendricks. This party, it speaks towards the interest of the Muslim community in South Africa. In a country where 80% of the population is Christian, what does the future look like for Jama Party? They are currently in the seat of mayorship with Thapelo in Johannesburg. Thapelo himself is a former mayor of Johannesburg. Thapelo, welcome. Dumela, Sanbonani.
Dumela le kae?
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
My brother, thank you for coming through today. I've had a couple of political parties here, Christian, and today is the first time I have a party speaking to the Muslim constituency. Just let's go back to your life for a first. Most people would ask, Thapelo, obatlang ko Islam. Where did you grow up, and did you grow up in an Islamic home?
I grew up in Soweto in an Islamic home. I was born in Para, just by the way. Islam has been in South Africa way before the dispensation of the New Dawn, which is post-Apartheid. But however, because of circumstances at the time, we're not allowing people to freely practice their religion, practice who they are, and our identity was swallowed. Remember also, if we're talking about us or Muslims being a minority or within the minority in the country,
yes,
we are also saying Islam, it is the majority in the continent. It's the dominating faith in the continent. So Muslims have been in South Africa way during apartheid, and Muslims actively participated in the liberation of the nation. But however, our voice wasn't that heard because we were the minority within the minorities.
So, politics, where does it start? Otiagum Sotra, probably you're looking for a job just like any other black South African. Go to school, get a job, and buy your mama a house. Why politics? When did you join politics, and why the interest?
Sure. Politics are inherent for some of us, precisely those who grew up in Soweto and witnessed a bit of what was happening pre-94, because our eyes were open at the time. So we grew up with values of resistance. And I can say people might say, no, but apartheid I see fail to a certain degree, because we haven't even addressed the spatial injustices that are out there. I still live in Soweto, by the way, and I lived in Soweto during the term of office when I was still the mayor. I lived amongst the people.
You're the first one.
I lived amongst the people, and so the reason behind that, I wanted to be a tangible hope to the child who doesn't have hope, but they only read about hope on the book. But I didn't want to be one of the abstracts. I wanted them to realize, no, we are alive with possibilities, and it happened. If you were to remember, the former Chief Justice Mogoe.
Yes.
He was asked, why does he want to be the president, and how does he hope he will achieve it as an independent candidate? He responded by saying, in South Africa, there's only two effects. One, it is the Madiba effect. He didn't say the ANC. It is important. The choice of wording
was strategic.
It was very strategic. He says, one, it is the Madiba effect, and second, it is an Jama effect. So history doesn't have blank pages. We were there. We are still there in history, by the way. And I would like to send shout outs to Mayor Kabelo Kwamanda, who's still governing the hub, the economic hub of the entire continent, under the stewardship of Jama Ah. So we became hope to a whole lot of people. Academics, an ordinary person on the streets, a child who survives with bare minimal, and going back to your question, why politics? So when I wake up in that house, Kosoweto, there's a constant reminder every day I open up my eyes. When I look at the ceiling, I remember, I didn't want to say F, but this roof was built by the same system that has placed me in the peripheries of the economy, and I'm not the only one who's in the peripheries of the economy. What about the next door neighbor who's there in that particular community, in the close vicinities? So it's a constant reminder, and it also gives us a sense of resistance, a sense of hope. We must live up to the next day. You understand? You shouldn't give up. If I made it, why can't you do it? You understand?
Then I think the follow-up question would be, like most other parties, why did you specifically have to be a Muslim-led party? Couldn't it just be a political party contesting election? Is religion at the core of Jama?
Correct. The principles of religion are at the core of Jama. The late Credo
Muto.
Yeah, I think one of his interviews, I don't know whether it was a podcast at the time, but it was never called a podcast. But however, it's hermeneutics. Language evolves. It could have been something else at the time.
Yes.
But he once made a prophecy, because I heard that he's a prophet. I don't know what is it called. Yeah, he said one day Muslims are going to run South Africa. When he was talking about the revolution of Islam in general, and he spoke about the revolution of Iran in general, and he once said Muslims are going to lead the country, which is SA, and we became a translation of what he was alluding to. I don't want to say it was a prophecy or what. Maybe it's a God-given sight, but to a certain degree, we became a testimony to what was said at the time. So we are founded on the values of Islam, right? And we are a political platform for all communities.
Oh, okay.
T-Men can also vote for Jama. T-Men can be a member. Thapelo Amad as the mayor, he's not even a Muslim. He practices African tradition, right? So he's a mayor under the stewardship of Jama. I have many more people that I've interacted with who would say, "Hey, can I get that party alone? What's that party?" Some would say Al Jazeera, some would say Al Qaeda, some would say Al Jaman. We want to join that party because we believe Muslims have those values and Muslims have the ability to change. So we were established and founded in a mosque like any other party, including the ruling party, including parties like Bo IFP, Umkhonto we, where they would go to the church base, because that's where the human capital is. Remember, the biggest resource that we need as political organizations is human capital.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is where we found, and for us, a mosque was closer to home because that was our human capital base.
And represent the community.
And we represent that particular community. But we then transformed and evolved because we live in a constitutional democracy, and if there's a pothole, remember Mayor Thapelo Amad was laughed when he said, the first thing that I want to prioritize is to fight the potholes. But today people are saying, "Hey, but Ramokhopola, that guy,
You're very clear.
We were very clear on potholes,
Because I think for most South Africans, and I think when you speak about the prophecy of Credo Muto at the time, where he said Muslims are going to rule the country, there was a fear also from other Africans who were in this country.
Yes.
Are you then going to impose Sharia law on the people, or is it going to be a constitutional democracy even under your government, or would you still want to impose Sharia law?
Look, it depends how you interpret Sharia law.
Okay.
I'll tell you why.
From what we know
from what
you streets.
know. Let me cite one incident. Sharia. In Sharia law, it says, I'm not condoning, let me make this disclaimer. I wouldn't want to condone crime, but it says if a man steals, you chop off their hand. That is
Yes.
Sharia, right? But if a man steals food, you don't chop off their hand. It's a need. We understand. This is why Muslims in the country, in South Africa, I'm saying this not being biased to Islamic, but Muslims have missed an opportunity. I'm saying this as a politician, right? And I'm trying to be as objective as possible.
Yes.
During COVID. I know faith-based organizations were out there helping out, but you would know where Muslims were just spontaneous, and Muslims they would never miss that opportunity to become philanthropists.
Yes,
You understand,
yes,
in their
yes.
respective, because those are the values that they inculcate from the religious point of view. You know, the gift of the givers, you might name, there's a whole lot more organizations that we might cite. But we are saying in politics, we do not see religion. In politics, we do not see culture. We do not see race. You know, we do not see faith, because a day-to-day issue such as a pothole, I get like Akolwe, it doesn't shift and say, this is a Muslim. Let me step aside, you know. Whether you're a Muslim or not, it equally affects you. You understand? Those are the bread and butter issues of the nation. People wants to hear what is it that you have for us, you know, whether you are a Muslim or not. But what is more critical is that the values that you embodied in you, they will translate who you are. So that is very crucial.
No, definitely. I think I asked the same question to the ACDP to say most people here in this country are not Christian, and you are going to the ballot on the premise of religion and your faith. So as a Christian tomorrow, if you are in power, as a Muslim, when you are in power one day, and I say, but you guys are an Islam government, why do we still have alcohol? Why do we still have same-sex marriage? Why don't you impose, because you are in power now? What would be your response?
Why don't we
ban alcohol?
Ban alcohol.
Or maybe ban same-sex marriage, or LGBTQ in general.
Do you want us to ban LGBT?
No, I'm just saying, according to Islamists...
If the nation says we must ban the LGBT, we'll ban it. Why not?
Okay.
It's not a crisis. If the nation says we must ban it, why not?
Yeah.
But just to answer your question,
So,
look, we are governed. We are not governed by the Quran as a party.
Okay.
Right. We have our values as Muslims. Right. So I've been asked the question of, we call them, but not out of disrespect. Some say they are alphabets, LGBT, you know. So I've been asked this question, and I took it to the affirmative action, right? To say there's equality in life, right? And how do we see the equality in life? If you take a high wall, and Mr. T, yourself, you are taller than I, right? And Harifita, we want to peep on the other side of the wall, and then get like something to wedge me, whether a chair or a crate, so that we can equally see on the other side. Is that equality?
Okay.
We equally see what's happening on the other side.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
So in essence, what I'm trying to say, we are a political platform for all communities, right? If the nation says we must ban LGBT, we take the mandate from the community. We will definitely ban it, right? But if the LGBT people say this is not our home, we can't go and push it down their throat, or no, we are Islamic parties, so you must swallow these things the same way they did with Qatar.
Yes,
you understand?
Yes.
Yeah, we are not people of that. So even Qatar said, this is our space. Do not infringe on our space. This is what constitutional democracy says. Do not infringe on people's spaces.
Yes.
So if you do not see that space as your belonging, we can't push you away. So it is up to you to decide. People who are joining Al Jama, I don't know, heterosexuals, straight people.
Yes.
There are heterosexuals who are joining Al Jama. There are heterosexuals who are not joining Al Jama because they feel Hor is not their home. You understand? So we can't force it on them. So if a gay man says, I can't join Al Jama, let them not fight us for who we are. That is our identity, right? Yeah. So we have no bearing on their issues as LGBT. Whether they do whatever they do it there. But if they see, okay, this is a platform for all communities, then we want to join Al Jama. It's a discussion that we are willing to have with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I think it's very important because Christians themselves, they would not necessarily support abortion or be based on their religious values and biblical context.
Yeah.
Maybe also based on the Quran context.
Yes.
But since now you are in government where you are governing a whole nation with different interests, so you may find that by you trying to please this one, you are stepping on that one. And I think that's why we had a constitution that safeguards the safety, the growth, and the right to life of every single person, regardless of their orientation.
Yeah.
So that's why maybe usually most people would feel like a religious party might come across as maybe too. I don't know what the word to use, but they will come in and impose things that they themselves are not.
There will be prejudice.
Yes, in a different manner.
In a different manner. So I as a Muslim. I grew up as a Muslim. I want to be subjective, Khanyan. I'm not speaking as a politician. So there's a whole lot of Islamophobic comments or Islamophobic incidents that are perpetuated way more than the LGBT, right? But the West and the media itself, it's silent about it. You understand? Because Muslims are not human enough, but gay are better human than Muslims. I'm just saying, right? But you'll never see a Muslim holding the placard. I have a personal experience, by the way. Let me share it with for the interest of the audience. My wife is wearing a niqab. We call it a niqab, a scarf, right? So there was a construction in my area. They were constructing a road. So una pusha naka prime. It's okay if I mix languages,
yes,
right?
Yes, don't
because of your audience.
You are free.
Yeah, so na pusha naka prime. And then this guy una drive a tank full of water, right? Una pere cap ya Sion. Then he sees my wife. My wife is black, and she's Muslim, not he. It's because of the
I get you. Okay.
Yeah. And then he looks at her, got a rear view mirror, not a rear view mirror, but a side mirror. It doesn't have a rear view mirror because it's a tank.
Yes.
Right. So they use the side mirror as a rear view mirror. And then he passes them, and then he opens up the tank. He splashes them with water. My daughter was, I think she was 1 year, couple of months at a time. Papnat,
Yeah. When you are wet.
When we are wet.
Yeah.
He literally opens up the thing. But you never seen us on TV saying this and that. You understand? I just went to a site manager and said, this is uncalled for. All right. They apologized. I didn't even want money. You understand? There's a whole lot of things that are happening behind closed doors. But we understand, as a leader, you are equally compromised. You understand? Yeah, there are certain things that you do in public. There are certain things that you do not do. So in essence, we are saying we are a political platform for all communities. We are accommodative to everyone.
Yes.
Whether black or white. We do have white people who are voting with Al Jama. We do have black people. We do have Indian people. We have colored communities. Fortunately, we were founded and we were founded in Cape Town, rather, and that's where we were nurtured as a party, political organization. So predominantly, you'd find colored people
in the party.
In the party, yeah, and we are growing gradually. We are in a trajectory of growing as a party. The city of Johannesburg was I think it managed to put us in the limelight. I don't know which choice of words should I use, but the city of Johannesburg alone, it became a catalyst for our political organization, and now people see the party as the force to be reckoned with. The DA in particular, when they took power, local government election.
Yes.
Kampo,
Popalads.
my predecessor, Popalads. So they took power, and I just want to wrap up why do we think and why Muslim Party, and I said we are a trusted party, and why do I think we are trusted based on the values. The DA itself approached us. They said there was a time where they needed 3 votes in the city of Johannesburg. They said to us, look, we want to work with you. Please come on board. The party that is pro-Israel today, you know which party is that?
Yeah, I think it's the DA, yes?
Not the DA. There's a party that, not coincidentally, but...
ACDP.
I don't want to use coincidentally. I wanted to say conveniently so. They became pro-Israel.
Or PA.
The PA.
Oh.
They were at some point pro-Palestine. At the time, I'm not talking donkey years ago. I'm talking about recent years, 2021. The DA came and we said to the DA, no, on the Middle East conflict, we, on principle, we want to be in the opposition. We're not going to work with you because we believe that we can still serve our people in the opposition, right? And they said, no, but let us focus on the issues, domestic issues. Leave alone. We said, no, but we can't. It's our principle. It's within us, you know.
Just explain the principle per se.
Yeah.
Because there is a view that the Palestine plight, it has become a religious plight across all Muslims across the world. Yeah. Is that true?
No, it isn't the truth. So the principle that I was making reference to, it's a principle of justice. Right. And I'll tell you why, a principle of justice. We then made a commitment. I was sitting with my predecessor, Mpo, like this. And I told her, look, and she said to me, I'm going to take you to Israel, and what you are seeing, it's just a propaganda. I said to her, yeah, okay, it's fine. I'm going to also take you to Palestine. Gaza. Yeah. Deal. It was a deal that we made. I still like her as a person. Politics happened, but we also made a commitment to her where, look, we are going to the opposition and we are going to shred you and shred your soul into pieces, you know.
If you allow me, like Mpo said to you, let's go to domestic issues. Yeah. We know that most of the Somalians, Pakistani shops are run largely by the Muslim community. Yeah. And the question that I have would be to say, on illegal immigration, there's been this attack in the townships where people are saying they must go, they must stay, all of this, these kids are getting food. But your last constituency is the guys in those shops who are largely Muslim. Yeah. Do you support the idea of deportation of illegal immigrants, or do you support a system where we naturalize them?
I do not support the system where we naturalize them. Neither do I support the deportation, but we're supporting where the government must strengthen their policies. But let me conclude first, where we then came into the city as the opposition on that principle. Yes. We never gave power to the DA. The PA went over because they were with us in the GLU. They went over, they gave them governance. The first thing they'd have done, they purged a black child. Literally, they started paging and they said it's cadre deployment. But it's a topic for another day. You know?
Yes.
You know, it's a topic for another day. So they started, so their principles and their policies are aligned to the policies of apartheid. The same way people who would be vocal about the deportation is the people who are supporting Zionism, which is the PA. Because those are the same policies. You can never separate the two. You understand?
But
so answering you.
Sorry. Yeah. It will be unfair to say the PA wants to deport illegal foreigners because they support Israel. Because I think illegal immigration isn't a domestic issue that is fought by most South Africans.
Yeah.
I don't think it has anything to do with Israel and Palestine. It's basically on the issue of people are not getting jobs. There's a lot of crime in the country, border control management, healthcare issues that come with it. So there is a lot of things that pile up.
You are correct. So that's where I wanted to go to say, now we want to deal with the bylaws and the policies of border control.
Okay.
You understand? Because you asked me about naturalizing them or deporting them.
Yes.
So naturalizing them and deporting them is not the solution. We need to go to the root cause. The root cause is the policies. If you travel and you go to Mozambique, after you leave South African border in Elephants, but the moment you go, I think it's not even 10 meters away. Once you enter Mozambique, there isn't a fence. We understand. But their laws are very tight. Because there isn't any foreign immigrant who would work in their country without them being legitimate.
True.
You understand? So this is where we are saying, Rona, we need to look at our policies and our deportation.
Yes.
Yeah, that unit in government, right?
Immigration
policies, yes. Immigration policies. So saying abahambe, bazohamba, but they'll still come back. Am I making sense? And not every foreign national, they are here to commit wrong. And the people that you made reference to, the people by this Paza shop, precisely. Yes, they've taken a chunk of our economy because the only economy that we had in the black child's hand, it was the taxi industry together with the spaza shops.
Yes.
You understand? You don't see a Pakistani as a bank teller. You don't see a Pakistani, you understand? You can cite many, you don't see a Pakistani working as a mapanyaza.
They've taken over the township economy.
They've taken over the township economy, right? But there's a propaganda that says these people have taken over our jobs. You understand? Yeah. So we need to, there's a gray area. We need to differentiate whether we deporting them on the basis of Rona or we deporting them because they are illegally in our country. Yes. You know, I think, because, you know, I would agree to a certain degree. In our new dawn, Rona, we are still finding ourselves. We didn't understand what is this thing called democracy.
Yes.
You understand? And while you are still settling into your house and somebody comes as an intruder, hence why if your gate is tied up, nobody would just come
Jump
into
over.
you understand? Yeah.
Because I think you're right when you say, I think illegal immigration in South Africa has 2 or 3 phases, right?
Yes.
You have the internationalists who come from China or whatever. You have the ones who are here for, like your Somalians who are doing the businesses in the townships and the tuck shops, and you have the African illegal immigrants who are doing your jobs and all of that. So I think on the basis of regulating or on the basis of illegal, because if you're illegal, we know that you shouldn't be here. So I think maybe most South Africans are saying we don't mind them being here, but rather go to the front door. Don't go through the back door.
Correct.
Let us know that you have arrived. You are here, so that way you are able to know who are we dealing with in the nation. But I'm gonna go to this part of, you said you're going to deal with mass surveillance, where in the country where there is a lot of crime and whatever, and you are saying you want to reduce mass surveillance. What is the solution? I think people will be like, let's increase surveillance more because our crime is high. But you are saying you are reducing it. Give me an idea.
So if things are not regulated, they are detrimental. Surveillance also needs to be regulated. As we speak right now, we have a whole lot of security forces that are outnumbering the SEPs and outnumbering our soldiers. and it's a known factor, and we do not know where that intel and the information or the intelligence so once you regulate also, it's one the issue of these plaza shops. When I was responsible for planning, I created a bylaw. Unfortunately, it failed it felt on deaf ears. So my idea and a vision was, because we are responsible for planning, development planning, and there's an outcry out there where the economy is going away. And how do we salvage what is left off?
Yes.
The bylaw was, okay, let us define what a spaza shop is. We define a spaza shop, right? We define the size of a spaza shop. And we further say, because these people who are running spaza shops, Kodikas, most of them are not compliant in terms of their documentation, right? So the city doesn't deal with migration law. So what we could have done, thinking out of the box, was let us regulate these spaza shops as the city, create a bylaw. Every spaza shop that is operational within the city, these people are using our clinics when they sick. Those are local clinics, the coffers of the city. These people, that was way before I became the mayor. These people, they use our water, Godilokshin. And if you come to suburbs like this, they would say, but people of Soweto, we pay for the people of Soweto. We are rate payers. You understand? So if people of Soweto aren't paying, we are saying, okay, people of Soweto, they say you do not pay Bohem and Mashaba.
Yes.
We then want to regulate so that these people, they pay the city a fee. It becomes something like a fee to the city, like a city tax.
Okay.
Right. And we say they use our clinics, the medicine is depleting. They use, if only to protest, we send JMPD. Yes. Those are state resources to defend and protect these people. Let them also equally contribute. And once you regulate them and you say, it's either you have an ID or there's this other second ID, Itlilenka Mandela at some point. He had dual citizenship. Yeah. And then you must have a permit to operate in the city, like a permit that is accompanying your passport to show how you are a legitimate resident or citizen. So if you use that criteria and a box ticking exercise, some of them would have been eliminated from operating spaza shops, and that was an opportunity for our people to come into those spaza shops and have their own buying power. We can't be spectators. We can't always be on the peripheries and say they are. We must initiate
Also
something. You
point.
Understand? Yeah, at some point.
I support that, Thapelo, because there are certain nations where you enter, they will tell you that certain jobs are reserved for the people of this country.
Yes.
Even they will give you on your permit.
Yes.
You are a guest, not permitted to work.
Yes.
So they know that you are here for a holiday, you are here as an asylum seeker.
Correct.
But there is clarity on that.
Yeah.
I'm going to move
just to add there before you move. Some of these nations, you can't even marry from their daughters. Remember that some of them, their families decide. They will say we're preserving our heritage. You understand? So they keep it to themselves. So they are mobilized and they are organized. So this is the only thing that is lacking, Kohorona, as Botakiba Momzans. We need to mobilize and organize ourselves for a bigger cause.
Definitely. So I'm going to go to the youth right now. The youth of this country today, they've been given 350s. They've been promised jobs by Ntate Panyaza of, Nancy Spani. The question is, Jama, what can you offer the youth, and what is your view on 350s?
I saw one. I think it was a TikTok clip. Nancy Spani, one of the MECs who was with Panyaza. So I don't know. They were alleging or he's carrying Nancy Spani. I don't know where. Just on a lighter note.
Okay. Moving along. Yes.
Yeah. So look, our view. There's a country called Singapore, right?
Yes.
Singapore, it's progressive. I would like to cite and learn from them or to borrow. So they have a population of about 6 million.
Yes.
The entire country. 6 million. It's the population of the city of Johannesburg.
Definitely.
Right. So we have 56 point something, 0.5 population in the province, Gauteng in particular.
Yes.
Right. What is missing, and I would like to reiterate without fear and favor, from the mainstream media, is to celebrate the youthfulness that was given by Jama, because both mayors, they resonate with the challenges of the current generation. There isn't much generational gap. I'll tell you why, and it is very important. I can't miss this opportunity, live here without saying this, right? Because the media and the right-wing movements, we came as a disruption. Jama, I'm talking Jama. I'm not talking, I'm not being subject matter. I'm not subjective. We came as a disruption, and we lived to the commitment of disrupting the system. And because they control resources, and part of those resources is the fourth estate, they used the fourth estate to weaponize. Today I was in an interview early this morning, on radio interview, to deliberate and discuss on the manifesto. But that interview ended up without me having been asked about what is it that we have for the residents, because that's what the residents want to hear. But it was all about when Thapelo was the mayor. You know, when Thapelo was the mayor. Kabelo, you know. So what I'm saying,
I'm glad you're in a good interview now.
Yes, yes, correct. No, hence why I get a disclaimer without fear and favor. We need to celebrate the youthfulness of the leadership. We are as Jama, we are leading the economic hub of the entire continent. We are not just a hub, but we are setting a tone. Ne? Recently, Mayor Kabelo Kwamanda was able to launch, because we've been advocating good governance. There isn't anything that they have against us when it comes to good governance. Or no, they are corrupt on their personal capacity, or the party is corrupt on their personal capacity. But they focus on, they want to paint us as delinquent. You understand? And why is it a coincidence? Jama has run the city for a period of a year with a clean audit, better than Cape Town, which now, better than Cape Town, better than Tshwane, which now Tshwane entered into an MOU with the AfriForum, with the AfriForum, assuming AfriForum will pay them. But so I'm going to your question.
Yes. Don't politic.
I can politic.
Okay.
I can I'm a politician. so yeah, it's well. When politic, it's well.
Yeah. Give me the jobs. Give me the.
Yes. So Ghana question in the youth.
Yes.
Right. The youth, we need to empower the youth. Africa, not Africa. Ghana, the province. The province alone. The mining belt, from the east to the west.
Yes.
Right. It is the richest province in the country. Right. Why don't we find a reason to fight Dizamazama and create opportunities for artisans? This is our what we're selling to the public, to say, when we come into government, we want to fight the Zamazamas, and we want to create opportunities for artisans. And every private sector that is in that mining sector must also create opportunities and identify or adopt schools they are within that region. We understand, teach, give these kids the skills. You understand, and every sector, even if it's financial sector, banking sector, go to the schools, identify, adopt a school, and then teach the kids. You don't have to infuse it into a curriculum. You understand? But through MOUs, you'll be able to give skills to the children. You understand?
So-
So that we create a self-sustainable future that doesn't depend on the 350.
Because I think somebody said because of lack of jobs in the country, that was the reason for 350, like social grants.
Yeah.
Even some parties are saying you're gonna make it 1.2.
Yeah.
Right? So we've been moving towards this welfare approach in most political parties throughout the campaign.
Correct.
The future of the youth in terms of obviously education, the 30% pass mark rate.
Yeah.
Can we trust that Al Jama will do better, and will they provide NSFAS as well?
Al Jama will do better. So when I was responsible for planning, I launched a campaign called I Am the Future. I Am the Future campaign was one of the greater achievements where through the planning. So I'm saying this when I'm saying we need to identify a corporate sector or private sector. We are saying stakeholder engagement fosters good governance.
Yes.
We understand. We need to bring all stakeholders of the society on board to work together with government. Some of these programs that are being pushed, they could be a political suicide for somebody who might take over after the 29th.
Yes.
You understand? Maybe some of them might even deepen the crisis because the government doesn't have money. Even National Treasury has pronounced government doesn't have money. How are you going to sustain? Right? But we are saying through stakeholder engagement. I did it when I was an MMC. I'm the Future campaign. You take a child, you adopt a school. I took about 5 schools. Amongst the 5 schools, one of them was a school with persons with disability.
Yes.
Right. That was during COVID. And we identified stakeholders because we had JDA, which does the construction, it's the JDA, Johannesburg Development Agency. I was overseeing that entity. So we partnered with YIPI, Youth in Property Investment, something like that. We partnered with various institutions.
Yes.
And then we said, bring the schools. So Rona, where we grew up, we didn't have career guidances.
Sadly, yes.
Sadly. So what I was envisaging at the time was, okay, because our children do not have those privileges. Then we said, let's take the stakeholders. If you want to be a CEO of a company, we shadow you with this particular company's CEO. If you want to be in construction, we partner you with this. They incubate you for a period of a month. That was a youth month, that's which is June.
Yes.
Yeah, which is June. And then we were also able to give them the gadgets, the kids. We gave them gadgets during COVID. We gave them gadget. We created an agile space. We did an ease of doing business. The school with persons with disability, we adopted it. The school is in El Dorado Park. All right. We also gave them the similar treatment. We didn't give them a special treatment. So I wanted to touch there, where we also need to repeal that policy or education, because when a child is disabled from grade 1 or from nursery to high school, they have a special teacher, they have special need this, special need that, you understand? But the moment they get to the varsity level, they are all by themselves.
Yes.
This is why at varsity you don't find a whole lot of people with disabilities, because they are more challenged than their physical challenges. Because we don't have special this and special that. So let us integrate. Let us integrate from the same way diversity is integrating these kids. Let us repeal the policy and also integrate in that space.
So basically, you're looking at starting from the ground level.
Correct.
To building the future
Correct.
young person.
The young person, yes.
Through different lens and
Yes.
spaces.
Yes.
Because NSFAS today has failed.
Yeah.
Will Al Jama push for free education, or will they still insist that the rich must pay and the poor should be subsidized?
We need to push for equal, decent, free education to redress the injustices of the past. Right. The citation that I've just given. You can also partner with
Private sector.
private sector. You know, you can partner with private sector. There are countries that have an appetite to partner with SA as a country or as province to province, city to city, you know, and they have capabilities
to help and make things
and
happen.
make things happen.
You know, Thapelo,
Yeah.
and I think I love the part of, I think it's what we have not seen a lot as young people, where in different spaces is the government at the forefront, the business sector is kind of, or the private sector is not barging in.
Yeah.
And this maybe could have been because of the corruption that is happening within the current government. This could have been because of the distrust that exists between business and government.
Yeah.
And you look at the youth of this country who are in arts and sports and culture, whereby they're not given the opportunities, there's no support. You look at in different levels of how to empower young children. And I love the idea that if we are able to work together as a nation, through, as you said, under our Jama, working together with the private sector, we can be able to create a citizen who will gradually grow and get to become also productive for the better good of the country. Right now, Al Jama is in coalition with the ANC and others. Will your coalition in the future be also centered on the issue of Palestine? Meaning that if you are going to go into coalition post the 29th of May, would you only be going with parties that are willing to pronounce on Palestine?
We are going to a coalition with the parties that have values of a liberation. Parties that sees liberation. Liberation, it's something like parties that would advocate for justice. Ne? Palestine is one of our policy position, and we are not apologetic on that policy position, right? And in essence, we were able to remove the Democratic Alliance and escalate the tension. When at the time when Helen Zille sent Gayton McKenzie to lobby us after they crossed over to work with the DA. So in the absence of us and the Patriotic Alliance, the DA needed only three seats to constitute government.
Yes.
And they were able to lobby Patriotic Alliance when we declined.
Okay.
Patriotic Alliance at the time had 7 seats, so they had additional 4 seats. So
basically, the same status quo will remain post 29th of May. If you are pro-Israel, we don't want you. If you are pro-Palestine, we want you.
So when they went that side, I'm gonna say it in summary. When they went that side, they gave DA 7 seats instead of 3 seats.
Okay.
But because we are the only reliable political organization, Helen Zille sent Gayton McKenzie to pursue us. But I still want Al Jama.
Those guys, yes.
You know, we were in a meeting and then she calls us young boys. Did you see what did the young boys do? Gayton says, no, I'm with the leadership of Al Jama. She says they have escalated their campaign. It is when we erected the statue of Yasser Arafat in the council chambers. They've escalated their campaign, yes. So I don't think you will win coming out of that meeting. Right? So when South Africa was in the similar position as Palestine today, Palestinians were of the view, let us support and arm South Africans. Let us arm them. And one day when South Africa will be liberated, they will still come back to us and liberate us.
Thapelo, but then we, as South Africans, we never had that history. As much as we have heard that this is the narrative that is running out there, but we never had a situation where Arabs and Jews were voting in South Africa. We never had a situation where Christians and Jews and Muslims and Arabs had equal rights within a state. We never had a separate state where people were free, could go to court, where judges, Arab, regardless of whatever. So don't you think that the war, it's basically a Middle Eastern issue, somehow religious or geographical, but I don't understand how is South Africa connected to this war. Yes, Arafat supported our liberation, and their liberation in Palestine and Gaza, it's a different liberation. But then we had two separate struggles. Don't you agree?
It was on the basis for when South Africans are liberated, they will then come and liberate us because we were friends, we were comrades.
Yeah, but
at a time.
But the question is, Thapelo.
I'm answering you now.
Okay. Yes. Please throw a line for me. Yes,
I'm answering you. Don't worry. I get politic. Okay. I'm answering you. Tata Nelson Mandela says our freedom is incomplete if the children of Palestine do not realize their freedom. I'm not quoting verbatim.
We insist on the right of Israel to exist within secure borders. That was Nelson Mandela as well.
Yeah. Secure borders doesn't mean you must kill people to secure your borders.
Definitely.
We advocate for justice.
But then
and justice is universal.
Yes, but the Jews will say the same thing. You are the one who declared war on us. So you are who wanted war. We never wanted war with you.
How so?
In 1967, who declared war upon the Jewish state?
It's the Jewish themselves. They ran from the Eastern Europe.
From 1967.
Yeah.
1967 war was 5 Arab states in 48 that attacked Israel, a newborn state.
Yeah.
In 67, the whole Arab world again united against the state of Israel.
Yeah.
They lost this war twice.
Yeah.
So they the ones who started war in 48, in 67. So I think the person who wants peace here would be Israel, don't you think?
No. Israel is never attacked.
Yeah, Israel never attacked.
It's never attacked. It's never attacked.
Hamas, how did Hamas do on October 7th? What did you call it?
It's very interesting that you are citing Hamas.
Yes.
We can never separate the IDF from Israel.
Yeah,
the IDF. Right. So Hamas, what they did, they took, when they say when the eagle fights a snake, what does it do? Because Barry and eagle will take the snake, say high.
Yes.
And then it will defeat the snake.
Yes, at the top.
It takes it from its comfort zone. So it's exactly what Hamas did on the 7th of October. They took the war outside Palestine and they took it where it's not comfortable, which is Israel. And when Israel claims to retaliate, they go to hospitals and schools where Hamas is never been. in children's hospitals.
But then let's not take it to Palestine for now. But I was just saying to you that should not our politics be more about domestic issues priority, and then we go into second maybe issue international relations on who do you align with. So for an example, we might end up having a situation now after the 29th of May when somebody will say, I don't want to form a coalition with the ANC because they are friends with Russia, or someone will say, I don't want to be friends with this one because their policy is towards this. Don't you think that South Africans must be the priority first, the country, then that?
I was with Solim Simang, Le Funzingobeni.
Yes.
In a panel of a debate. The fourth panelist was Mayor Margaret Arnolds, who's the current speaker in the city of Johannesburg. And both Solim Simang and Funzingobeni, they saying, when we take power in Gauteng, the first thing that we are going to do, we are going to hospitals. And we are going to purge or to expel all those doctors because our hospitals are dysfunctional. Because we believe ke cadre deployment. Then I asked them a question: aren't doctors going to acquire qualifications? We understand. So that alone interpreted, they will come there based on you being black. They will deal with you on those bases. And then he said, no, Marwena Mona, we are racializing everything. I'm racializing everything, of course. Sometimes you need to be biased in terms of race. Pela, when you are a political surplus, after Abafe, they get rid of you. You understand? I'm embodied I forgot to even ask whether he's got black friends as a black man. Now I leave a black child in me.
So I think in closing, because I can see my approach, this is a very good conversation, by the way. My brother, in 2 minutes, why should a young person in South Africa vote for Jama? Take it a go.
Sharp. So the country at large says we want fresh minds, fresh leadership, new solutions. There isn't a generational gap between the leadership of Jama that is currently contesting the province and the leadership of Jama that is a custodian of the biggest metro in Africa. So we are a trusted party by all the political organizations.
There was Jama, Thapelo Amad, the former mayor of Johannesburg. Did he win your vote? Would you be voting for Jama? You make that choice. Please share your comments on the comment section, and also remember to click like, subscribe, and share the content. This was Manifesto Unpacked. I am Bafana Modise. This was proudly brought to you by the Podcast Party. Tune in, turn up, and take action. Next time, ciao, ciao.